Can you explain to the committee why you chose to fund this dangerous research in China?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Many people believe this came from the lab. Do you think that the risks really are worth the benefits for gain-of-function research?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer.
What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer.
So there it was, more than 100 times. Dr. Anthony Fauci did not answer questions from lawmakers. That's why our next guest coming up is pushing to hold him in contempt. Senator Rand Paul is on deck live. We'll talk to him. But first, the reporting from Chad Pergram live on the Hill. Hello, Chad.
Bill, good morning. Rand Paul wants to hold Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. So what are the consequences? Lawmakers send a referral to DOJ hoping for prosecution. Top Senate leaders believe that's in order for Fauci.
Certainly his answers today were completely inadequate, and I think that's certainly an option. How do you feel about I think that's an option that ought to be available to us. What he did today in front of that committee was inexcusable.
But contempt is not that simple. The committee chaired by Paul will vote next week to send a contempt of Congress resolution to the Senate floor. But there, it faces a filibuster, so this probably never gets to the DOJ. Paul insists that Fauci had no right to invoke the Fifth. That's because former President Biden issued a pardon.
Because you refused to answer, citing a privilege that is unsupported because of your pardon, and after being denied to do so, this committee has scheduled a vote next week on a resolution certifying your contempt.
Democrats defended Fauci. They accused Paul of trying to trip him up during the hearing.
He can still be prosecuted for any kinds of answers that he gives here. And so the more prudent course was to claim the Fifth Amendment, because the obvious objective here is, in fact, to put him in danger of criminal prosecution.
Now, the only people prosecuted after criminal referrals in recent years include Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, and baseball star Roger Clemens. Fauci invoked the Fifth 111 times. The record when testifying before the Senate is 150. Bill?
I knew you would know that. And by whom? Just in a pop quiz.
It was a
Chad.
mob figure back in the 1950s, 1958.
You nailed it. Thank you, Chad. Nice to see you on the Hill. Thanks, Dana.
Well, Senator Rand Paul joins us now, and thank you so much for being here. One thing that has been on my mind is, what is your understanding as to why President Joe Biden believed that Anthony Fauci needed a pardon?
You know, I think that's a perplexing question, and we don't have an answer. Anthony Fauci hasn't answered it. You can only presume that he felt he was guilty of various crimes or could be indicted. I think there was a request made by Anthony Fauci and his attorneys, but I don't know that they ever specified. One of the questions we were going to ask yesterday is who requested the pardon and what specific crimes were you concerned with being prosecuted for. The crimes that we are aware of are lying to Congress, destroying public records. Those are the two main categories that we looked at yesterday. We had emails from his longtime assistant saying, deleted tons of emails for you over the weekend. We had specific emails that were deleted, including to Francis Collins, the head of the NIH, where he says, please read this and delete it, and then delete it from your deleted files. We had him requesting people to delete phone calls from voicemail as well. So I think that he had an extensive period of time where he was always covering his trail, always trying to make sure that there wasn't any trail left that could catch up to him.
Yeah, the deletion seems kind of wacky, you know, that late in the game, especially when everybody's watching him. You began your testimony, as I recall, in January of 2020. And just to recall, there were scientists all over the world trying to figure out what this virus was all about, where it came from, and where it was going. So Fauci's diary entry on January 26 says, now we know the market was not the source, it was the amplifier. Having said that, somewhere the virus jumped from animals to humans. Is it logical to think that Fauci's evolution was like many scientists, that in the beginning he thought it was the lab, and then he changed to the wet market, and other scientists went back and forth on this. If you were to follow that line of thinking, is that his out in this whole mess?
I guess the problem with giving him the benefit of doubt is you have to calculate in that he has a conflict of interest. Since he funded the research in the Wuhan lab, the dangerous research that led to this, he has a self-interest in it not being from the lab. So he admits early on to his diary that it didn't come from the wet market, but the wet market was a big argument for this coming from nature. But for years, we put together a compilation of him on television saying, wet market, wet market, wet market, wet market. He continued to argue for years that it came from the wet market, even though he knew in January of 2020 that it didn't. The other thing that we know is that early on, there was a question of whether or not, wow, the structure of this virus looks like it's been manipulated. Nobel laureates, David Baltimore, said the same thing, looks like the smoking gun. Even his virologists that were his buddies that were advising him all thought that privately, but they all said something different publicly. And that's really the theme of all of this, is virtually everything he believed privately, he said the opposite publicly. You remember early on, he told the cabinet member, we've studied masks and pandemics, they don't work for respiratory viruses, just go about your trip and you don't need to wear a mask. And then publicly, he's wearing 3 masks, including wearing masks outside. So really it was a lot of contradictions, but it damaged a lot of people. The idea of 6 foot of distance kept kids at home because they couldn't build the schools big enough to be 6 feet apart all the time.
Closed restaurants and bars and businesses and everything else down the line.
Senator, when did you know that Fauci was going to plead the Fifth?
That morning. You know, we suspected it and we prepared for either alternative, but we didn't know until he chose not to testify that morning. And to tell you the truth, I am disappointed. I would have accepted an apology. I would have accepted I am sorry. The big question is this: should we be paying for, the taxpayer, to take animal viruses and purposely mutate them to become human viruses? He knew it was going on. In January of 2020, his private notes say, we're suspicious of the Chinese because we know they do gain-of-function research. But if he was suspicious, why did he fund them? It's a terrible judgment to fund a group of people that you now are saying are doing dangerous research that could have led to this pandemic. So a lot of judgment errors, but never any admission of responsibility for it.
Last question. They're going to be voting next week on contempt. Assuming that passes, what next in this drama?
Since it's not a piece of law, I don't think there is an exact thing that has to happen. In the past, often contempt messages go from committee to the floor, but I don't think there's any rule that says it has to. I think it's less likely to pass on the floor. I think we can pass it out of committee. And from there, I plan on sending it directly with a legal brief supporting the arguments to the Department of Justice. This is similar to in the past, I've sent these individually. I've sent a criminal referral on Anthony Fauci twice under Biden and twice under Trump. Now I will be sending the committee's product. That's probably what happens. I can't guarantee that we're going to win the vote, but I'm pretty certain we can win the vote next week.
Okay.
Senator, thank you for being our guest this morning.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.